All right, so I got here is Georgia's Constitution, Bill of Rights, Article 1, Section 2, Paragraph 1, which states, all government of right originates with the people, is founded upon their will only, and is instituted solely for the good of the whole. Public officers are the trustees and servants of the people and are all times amenable to them. So right here in this first paragraph, this destroys any of the illusion of any of our public servants claiming that they rule over us. They don't. All government of right originates with the people. That means you, the people, all of us, are the original source of lawful authority. Not the governor, the legislature, the courts, Washington, D.C., not any of these agencies, the bureaus, any of the little three-letter agencies. The word originates clearly shows that we bring it into existence. So when the Constitution says all government originates with the people, it's saying you created it, therefore government is subordinate to us. So the government, it has no life, no will, no power of its own. It only acts through the consent that we delegate to it. And without our consent, it's not government at all. So it'd be usurpation, right? Fraud and tyranny, which we're seeing every day in these states. Now this part right here, founded upon their will only, means your rights, your government do not depend on votes, policies, or political parties. The will of the people, the individual, natural, moral, will-free men and women is the foundation of all legitimate law. The government's job, its only job, is to secure that will and not replace it or override it, which that's what they've been doing. So when public servants are acting outside of that will, they cease to be lawful officers. They become rogue agents of their own ambition. And when they do that, the people, we the people, have the right and duty to correct it. Because our Creator gave all of us dominion over the lands and dominion over our governments, which is why every single state constitution, or pretty much all of them, you go through and they tell you, everyone, even here in Michigan, right in the preamble, it tells you, we give thanks to our Creator for all of our rights. So everything predates any of these governments. And then you go to the third part of this where it says instituted solely for the good of the whole. This clause pretty much kills any idea that government can operate for private or political interest. It's solely for the good of the whole, meaning government exists only to serve everyone equally, not to control some for the benefit of others. The moment a law or policy or mandate benefits a corporation, a union, or any of these political agendas, which we're seeing every day, right, over us, which look at what they're doing, giving our money, all these other countries, supporting all the illegals, right, giving them health insurance, giving them debit cards. We know this is all to be true. Our government, our true government, they can't license our right. They're not supposed to be trying to license our rights, tax our liberties, regulate everything that we do. It's supposed to be protecting our life, liberty, and property, and which would allow us, our ability to pursue our happiness freely, which is what everything was founded upon. And every time, the moment that our government stops doing that, which it has, it's not acting as lawful government. It's becoming organized oppression against we the people. So the last segment of that, public officers are the trustees and servants of the people, clearly shows you trustees and servants. Trustee is someone managing another person's property or rights under a written trust, and in America, that trust is our constitutions. You, which means the people, we the people, we're the beneficiaries. They are the officials, the trustees, and the Constitution is the trust instrument defining their limited duties. A trustee cannot change the terms of the trust, they cannot act for their own benefit, and they cannot take more power than what's been delegated to them. If they do, they commit a breach of trust in violation of oath, which is the lawful ground for removal, impeachment, or prosecution, which quite a few of them are due for that. Judges, prosecutors, governors, public officers, all of them took an oath to uphold this trust, not to serve a political party, not to enforce statutes in conflict with the Constitution, and not to obey unlawful directives from the executive branch, which I obviously have direct admission of that one. Segment 5 of this, are all times amenable to them. Amenable means accountable, answerable, subordinate, subject to discipline by who? We the people. And it's not saying not sometimes, right? It's not saying sometimes, it's saying all times. At all times do they have to answer to us. And the more they take us away from our power, and why do you think none of these schools teach anything about the state constitution or the Declaration of Rights or Bill of Rights for all the states, right? there's a reason for that. So that means there is no true immunity. So when they run around trying to claim there's, ultimate immunity, it's fraud. It doesn't exist, because when they create constitutional violations, they cannot be protected because they're operating outside of their trust agreement to us. So there's no protection under I was doing my job. Right? Because we, the people, we're not the servants. We're their masters, right? They're the ones that are swearing the oath to us. So every time a judge silences your voice in court, a cop oversteps their authority, or an official hides behind policy, it's up to us. It's our duty to remind our public servants that we're the public they swore to protect, right? So when they violate that oath, they're not shielded. They actually become fully exposed, because this provision doesn't just make them accountable, it makes them personally liable when they act outside the law, which means they can be sued in their private capacity for operating outside of their limited delegated powers. We are a republic, which we see them running around toting this democracy nonsense all over the place. They're openly trying to mask our, the Article 4, Section 4 of the U.S. Constitution, which guarantees our republic form of government. They're actively trying to suppress that from we the people, which is where all of our rights are protected, right? So when Georgia's founders wrote this paragraph, they locked that truth in stone. We the people are the sovereigns. Government is the agent, and the agent can never rise above the sovereign, right? Because we are the creators of the government. So really, the takeaway from all of this shows everyone we have the lawful authority to hold every single public servant to their oath. Which obviously we can do that through several different ways, right? We can hold them through the complaint process. We can, petition petition higher up into the our state governments. And when those don't work, right, what do we have? We have the option of suing them in their private capacity. And the more that, the more of us that start really researching into our state constitutions and holding these, because we have to start with the lower level actors, right? The states they're completely operating as a totalitarian administrative deep state. We see this across every single state. They're all operating basically in sync, using the same policies and procedures that are violating all of our rights. So I want, everyone really needs to start understanding that every time these administrative law judges put their signature on any of these orders, any of these statutes passed through the legislature, these courtroom proceedings, if they are violating the will of we the people and their compact through their oath, right, their trust agreement, it's null and void, right? But it's up to us individually to be able to comprehend and articulate these things in order to actually hold them accountable, because we're the power. We are the law, and without us, they wouldn't even exist. I highly encourage everyone to start really digging through their state constitutions and looking, checking out all the other ones, because the truth is written in every one of these contracts that they all swear to.